Really quick, if you have not seen this episode just yet, yes, this one in the thumbnail that you are seeing on the screen, make sure you check that episode out first. Because the episode that you are currently watching is the Break the Bank version of that deck. So yeah, this episode might not make all that much sense if you haven't seen that one. Regardless, that episode, as well as this one, come to you courtesy of John, who's been supporting this channel as a Golden Pig tier patron. I truly couldn't do this without the support of amazing patrons like John, so again, John, thank you so much. And again, the commander that was chosen is Admiral Beckett Brass, a 3/3 human pirate for 1 blue, black, red. Other pirates you control get +1 at the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who is dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. So yeah, a fantastic pirate tribal commander, and one that has a lot of great upgrades to consider. And again, with these Break the Banks, we take our budget all the way up to $100. And if you are interested in this deck or in the Break the Bank version of the deck, make sure you check out the links in the description below. Now, with all that said, let's jump into the cards that we're going to be adding in. First up, Herald's Horn is a fantastic tribal card, an artifact for 3, and when enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, pirates, and then pirates cost 1 less to cast. And at the beginning of our upkeep, look at the top card of our library. If it's a pirate, we can reveal it and put it in our hand. So this can save us a lot of mana throughout the game and help us be even more aggressive with our strategy. And on top of saving mana, this can also help us in another way again by just getting pirates off the top of our library and into our hand, generating us a lot of card advantage throughout the game. So yeah, this little 3 mana artifact can provide a ton of value in multiple ways, and yeah, it is a great Break the Bank upgrade for a tribal deck, especially one that wants to be aggressive like this one. And speaking of being aggressive, well, there's Shared Animosity, which is another great upgrade for this deck. It's an enchantment that costs 2 and a red, and it says, whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. We have a ton of pirates in this deck, and on top of that, a lot of them are evasive, which allows them to get through on a lot of our opponents. So yeah, we can be very aggressive with our creatures, swing, and obviously again our creatures get pumped by our commander, but also on top of that get pumped a ton by this, so our creatures can hit for an absurd amount of damage. So our opponents are not just going to be feeling the pain from us stealing their things, but also the pain from getting hit by a lot of pirates with a ton of power. So yeah, Shared Animosity, a great upgrade as well. Moving on, how about Door of Destinies, an artifact for 4 that has, when enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Which of course is going to be pirates, then whenever we cast a pirate, we put a charge counter on Door of Destinies. So that pirates we control get +1 for each charge counter on Door of Destinies. So this might not start off helping us at all, but the more and more pirates that we play, the more useful this becomes, and the more massive our pirate army gets. So this might not have the immediate impact of something like a Shared Animosity, but over time it can provide more value, and of course on top of that it is pumping toughness as well to protect our creatures in combat. Overall, a fantastic card for a tribal deck, especially one that is running a ton of that tribe in the deck and a lot of low to the ground creatures at that as well. Moving on, another card that can be incredibly explosive in this deck is Coat of Arms. It's an artifact for 5 that says each creature gets +1 for each other creature on the battlefield that shares at least 1 creature type with it. As I mentioned, we are running a lot of low to the ground evasive pirates, so we can get a ton out very quickly and get through on our opponents as well. And like those other massive pump effects that we've talked about so far, yeah, this can help our creatures hit incredibly hard. Now, do keep in mind, obviously, that this might pump our opponent's creatures as well, so it is something to be careful about when you put into play. But yeah, if the coast is clear, this can be a game ender, or at the very least, something that can really turn the game into our favor. Up next, we've got Vanquisher's Banner, which is an artifact for 5 that has, when it enters the battlefield, chooses a creature type. So yeah, pirates, and then pirates get +1, and on top of that, whenever we cast a creature spell of the chosen type, we draw a card. So, like our commander, this might only pump our creatures 1, but that still can make a massive difference, especially with our low to the ground creatures. Again, we've got a very aggressive strategy with this. So it might not pump as much as those other Anthem effects that we've talked about so far, but what it lacks in that, it makes up for and then some in massive card advantage. Again, we are running a ton of pirates, which means we're going to be casting a ton of pirates, so we can draw a ton of cards with this to, cast more pirates, draw more cards, hit our opponents for even more damage. Yeah, this is a great card to add in. And speaking of drawing cards, well, this card really can make a massive difference. Kindred Discovery is an enchantment for 3 blue. When it enters the battlefield, we choose Pirate, and then whenever a creature we control that is a pirate either enters the battlefield or attacks, we draw a card. So now whenever our pirates come into play, just coming into play, they will draw us a card, and now whenever they attack as well, we draw a card. That is an absurd amount of card advantage throughout the game. Now again, we are running a lot of evasive creatures, but this does not specify that they have to get through. I mean, them being evasive is still very important that they, stick around so we can keep attacking with them. But yeah, again, the amount of potential card draw that this has is huge, especially in a deck like this. But because our creatures are so effective at getting through, we can also add in cards like Coastal Piracy, Reconnaissance Mission, and Bident of Thassa. Coastal Piracy says whenever a creature control deals combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. And then Reconnaissance Mission is very similar, but it has cycling, and yeah, basically whenever a creature control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Bident of Thassa essentially says the exact same thing, but it doesn't have that cycling, but it does have pay 1 and a blue, tap, creature opponent's control, attack this turn if able. So this one has the potential at sending an opponent into a really bad attack. Regardless, each of these are fantastic ways to generate a lot of card advantage throughout the game. Again, we have a lot of low to the ground evasive creatures that we can really take advantage of with cards like these. So yeah, these are some fantastic upgrades for the build. And finally, we're also going to be adding in 2 lands with Unclaimed Territory and Secluded Courtyard. When Unclaimed Territory enters the battlefield, we choose a creature type. So yeah, Pirate. It can tap for a colorless or it can tap for 1 mana of any color, but we can only spend this mana on a pirate. And then Secluded Courtyard is basically the exact same thing, but we can also use it for an activate ability as well. So yeah, these are fantastic lands in tribal decks, and these can really help us fix our mana early and often for our pirates. But now that we've talked about the cards that we're adding into this deck, let's talk about the cards that we're taking out. And those cards would be Read the Bones, Impulsive Pilferer, Reflections of Lijara, Taurian Mauler, Pirate's Pillage, Jedi Tracker, Direfleet Captain, Charcoal Diamond, Siren's Ruse, Island, and Swamp. And by that I mean 1 island and 1 swamp. Regardless, like I always mention on these episodes, just because we are taking cards out does not mean that they are bad cards. It just means that those cards that we're adding into the deck with this upgraded budget are going to be more effective in this build. But now that we've talked about every single card that we're adding into the deck and every single card we're taking out of it, let's talk about the price. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, with our upgraded budget all the way up to $100, we come in just underneath that with an estimated cost of $99.72. Though do keep in mind, if you already have the basic lands for this deck, well, there's some extra savings for you there because this estimated cost does include basic lands at 10 cents a piece. And speaking of potential savings, you might be able to save even more by buying this deck on TCG Player and utilizing heavily played and damaged cards, which of course need a home too. That being said, keep in mind that this estimated cost does not include the cost of shipping, which might vary depending upon where you live. And with that, the show is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts on this episode are, and as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.